Thank you so much for coming back and joining us on Kidderminster Harriers Fans Podcast. We're joined still by Jonathan, by Travis. It's not his bedtime. Matt and Nick. Sorry, Travis. I mean the nicest possible way.
Believe me,
Um,
aren't you?
yeah. We're just having a chat then before we start recording about one of the players that Nick chose. We'll have a chat about him in a second. Actually, because where is this? Oh yeah, I'm going to share my screen now because this is my team. Yay! Now I had when it before I sat down and did it on Saturday morning. I was like, I know loads of players, and then I started doing it. And I don't know about you, but my mind just went blank. Did anyone else get that, or was that just me? I don't know. Anyway, in goal was going to be Ben Foster. Now that's because literally he was England's number one. But then I thought, hang on, he wasn't when he played for us, so I'm not doing that. And I thought Kevin
He was
Rose, that's
rubbish
his
for us.
pardon?
He was
Yeah,
awful.
absolutely, absolutely, absolutely he was. That's why he
He
didn't
got
get in.
sent back, didn't he?
Yeah, he really did. Kevin Rose, then I put him in. He was the keeper and won the league, right? 94, 95. Is that
Yeah.
correct?
Yeah,
Yeah. So yeah, I put him in. Stalwart, he won the league for us. Happy days. Chris Brindley, obviously for obvious reasons, like everyone said. Craig Hinton, and I've got him for Mark Crichton, which no one has done. Now, Mark Crichton, when we beat, was it Northwich to get into the final of the FA Trophy?
yeah, yeah.
I threw my scarf onto Crichton, and then he got interviewed, and he never gave me back. So yeah, so there's mixed emotions there, but yeah, he's a great player, absolute great player. He came back as was it assistant manager, I think, back in the day. He came back and
Yeah, for
we got
Gary
rid of
Ward,
it.
wasn't it?
Yeah,
Mm.
we got rid of him. In midfield, nothing really there that we haven't talked about. Sam Austin on the left. Sam Austin scored one of the best goals I've ever seen live. And if you were at Gloucester away about 3 seasons ago,
Yeah.
he
Yeah,
honestly,
yeah.
he just literally just tore the whole team apart and then scored. And I was on Talk Sport as well that night. And I said to what's his name, Jamie O'Hara, about going and looking at it. He obviously didn't care, but here you go. So I've gone in talking about goals. Danny Williams. Now, if you were there away at Cheltenham, and I think it was 2003, he scored possibly the world's greatest free kick I've ever seen in my life. Um, yeah, but he just hit it at 100 miles an hour, and it went through the defense, it went through the wall, past the goalie. It was amazing. Mike Marsh, obviously, he didn't play for us after we won the league, did he? Because he had an insurance payout anyway. Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
correct? Yeah, couldn't do it. Jolly, and now Bo Henriksen, another story. So Bo Henriksen, he loved Mirage, as you know. I didn't see him there. I don't think I didn't go to Mirage, but I did see him in the Tesco in Tesco. The new Tesco had opened, right? And I was like, I'm sure that's Bo Henriksen. And then he started stretching off in the meat aisle, and I was like, that's got to be Bo Henriksen. I was like, all right, Bo. Yeah, so I put him in. Lee Hughes, got through Lee Hughes. He scored a hat trick on a Tuesday night. And my mum had said I could only go if I was ready to be picked up at 9:30. And when I was ready to be picked up, he'd only scored two. So he scored a third, and I missed his hat trick. But there you go, that was that. And finally, an absolute warhorse in attack. I don't think anyone would disagree with that. Paul Ocker Davis. Now, Paul Ocker Davis, this is funny. He used to use the news agents that I used to go to when I was at school, middle school. And it just if I saw him there, I'd go, all right, Ocker. And he'd go, all right. I've never asked him anything good apart from all right, Ocker. And he was always all right. And that was the way it was. So that was my team. Any thoughts on that, guys, before we move on? Any thoughts?
Good balanced team there, Wes. Yeah.
It's good.
I didn't want to have
Siaka get
wingers.
mentioned.
Pardon?
Clubs. Good to see Siaka get a mention. Club's all-time leading goal scorer still.
There you go.
Siaka is.
And he probably will be forever, I think. Yeah, I would have
Yeah.
thought.
In
At this rate, you will be.
the current state of football, I don't think there's any. I don't
No
think there's
doubt.
any danger.
There's no diggity. So I went for 3-4-3. I didn't choose a left or right back because I was like, I want to have more people up front. In fact, a friend of mine said I've had two in midfield and two in defence and then eight up front. And you could have done that, to be fair. I don't think you'd have won much, but you could have done that. Right. So what I love most about the Kidderminster Harriers Fans podcast is that we get other people involved and we get their thoughts. And some people come on, like yourself, John, like Travis, like Matt, like Nick. You come on, and some people just in the background, but they also get involved as well. So I ask people for that.
Sorry
Yeah.
to interrupt, Wes. Just a very quick one. As you're clicking on people's emails for teams here, it's going to show their email address potentially. So you might just want to flick off to get the team and then back on. Just
Why didn't you
Just
tell the team anyway?
A little GDPR.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Is that what it is? All right, Dad. I'll stop. I'll stop the share.
He's
All right, hang
safe,
on.
you
Who
there,
invited
Wes.
the GDR police? Jesus Christ!
He's
All right.
safe, you.
I've got my email address shown. Hopefully I'll get some exciting stuff. But there might be people who just might not want it on there. That's all.
All right, sorry guys, we're gonna have to wait just a second. But hang on. No, you still see them anyway. Oh man, this is so annoying now, John. Why didn't
Just
you tell me
open
this
up the
before?
PDF. Just open up the PDF. It'd be all right, wouldn't
You
it?
just open the attachment, can't you?
No, because some people just wrote it literally in an email. They've not all done it like sexy like we did. So right, this is from Richard Bradley. Anyone know Richard Bradley? Anyone know Rich at all?
Doesn't ring a bell, but hi, Richard.
Hi, mate. Rich, thanks so much for your time.
Harriers.
Really appreciate that. Right, let's get that in there. Let's go that way. Okay. Right, John, GDPR police. Here we go. So
Safeguarding officer.
that's what it is. Happy days. Right, so is that good enough for you, John? Can you see that now? Is that right?
Fantastic. That's great, mate.
Okay, so Richard's gone in. He says, "Enjoy the pod, lads." Do you know what? I love that. My team started 1992. First game lost 4-1 to Wickham. I guess was that at home? Was anyone there? John, were you there?
I started in 1992. My first game was against Stalybridge Celtic. I don't think I was at the Wickham game. So
there you go. Well, Richard's team, Tim Clark in goal. A.D. Smith didn't get mentioned at all. Weir, Hinton, Stamps, Danny Williams, and Mike Marsh in midfield. Lolly, Ocker, and Lee Hughes in front. I think probably that's Bo in like an attacking midfielder kind of role. What do we think to that, guys? What do you think?
I like it. Yeah,
great.
Yes.
Tim Clark was in my thinking for keeper. I would have had every goalkeeper, I think.
He was colossal when he first came in, wasn't he? He tailed off towards the second season, didn't he? I think injuries and all that type of thing. But I think that season and the start of the Football League, he was absolutely colossal for us, really. Him, Dibble were probably the main ones for me. That's a very strong lineup there, Richard. And it's good to see A.D. Smith get a mention, actually, like the lads have said.
Yeah.
Very popular figure.
Legend.
He was a legend. Right, okay, so let me get rid of that one. And let's put in hang on Jackie O. No, she goes home and away, I think, Jackie O. Anyone know Jackie at all? Must have met her, surely.
Hello, Jackie.
I don't think so, no.
Hello, Jackie.
Hello, Jackie. Hello, I love you. I love you. My email address
is on that Friday night dinner. Jackie.
Right, okay. Anyway, stop it, you guys. Stop it. Right, we're not taking the mickey out of people. We are just bigging them up.
I was taking the mickey out of you.
Okay, fair enough. I love that. So Jackie's gone in for Rose in goal. She's gone for Simeon Hodgson. What year was he? That name rings all the bells.
93, 94.
It would have been early 90s. So Hodgson would have been 92 to 95-ish, I think. In fact, I think Jackie has gone for essentially the team that dominated 93 to 95.
Yeah, there you go. She absolutely has. Chrissy Brinley in defence with Martin Weir and Paul Bancroft. I only said Nancy Cartwright, but that's the lady who does the Simpson voices, right?
Neil, isn't it?
Yeah. Neil, yeah. Granger, Forsyth, legend. Delwyn Humphreys, hasn't I mentioned so far, but he has with Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. Ocker and Purdy as well. Not had a mention. She wants some subs. So Paul Jones and Caleb, Shane Byrne, Kim Casey, and Maz. By the way, we didn't mention it, but Maz has ended up at Notts County. Fair play, Maz. I'm round of applause for Maz. Well done, Maz.
It's a good move for him. Yeah.
Great, fair play.
Absolute great move. And Shields says, can also add Ocker, I think the original Mr. Harriers, and scored both goals in the 1987 trophy win. Anyway, loving the podcast. Keep the good work, Jackie. Thank you, Jackie. We love you. We love you. And I think there's a dinner around Jackie's house or something. Is that what you're saying, Nick? Or I don't know. Anyway, I'm not sure. Right, there we go. That was Jackie. Anyone know Nick Haycock?
That's me.
Oh, yeah, we've done you. So you know Nick Haycock. That's great. Right, okay. Jordan. Does anyone know Jordan? I'm guessing maybe Travis, you might know Jordan at all. Do you know Jordan?
As my second name is, I might do.
Morris.
Jordan Morris, yes.
Jordan.
That's my sister's boyfriend, so yes.
Is he a
He's
good
lad,
guy?
George.
Yeah,
Is
he's
he
a good lad,
guy?
George.
He
Yeah.
wants to come on. He wants to come on the podcast, which is amazing. And more the
He knows
merrier,
his
I
stuff, to
guess.
be fair. So
Yeah, there you go. Right, okay. So Jordan's team is this: Danny Lewis in goal, Caleb Richards, Lee Vaughan, Keith Lowe, Shea Dunkley. Now, Keith Lowe, I can't ever forgive him for that slip. I can't. I just can't. Do you know what I'm talking about? You know the slip in the
Well, against
playoffs.
Chorley.
Yeah,
surely, yeah.
That's
it was
a bit harsh.
just
We just didn't
awful.
turn up, did we, really? It was a bit
Just
harsh
awful.
on Keith, that.
He was getting
Yeah,
on a bit, and he's about 34, 35, wasn't he?
yeah. Lee Vaughan making another mention there. In midfield, Ashley Hemmings, Elton. You got Kyle Storer gets a mention.
I was close
Wait,
to putting him in, to be fair.
did he move to Birmingham or was that someone else in midfield?
That was
Nah,
Luke
He went to
Maxwell.
Still went to Cheltenham.
Yeah.
Luke Maxwell. Storer went to Cheltenham. Okay, Joe Lolly. That's great midfield. That Jammer Matt didn't get a mention in
Jammer.
anyone's teams.
Oh, yeah.
Great choice. I'd have him back next season. Not that we're going to, but
But has anyone told Adam that he should probably do that? That's the thing. And Joe Ironside as well in that team. Thank you so much, Jordan. Appreciate that, mate. Looking forward
A
to
lot of
getting
pace
you.
on that pitch.
Pardon?
There's a lot of pace on that pitch.
But hang on, have I got this right? Didn't we sell Jammer and then on New Year's Day and then bought in Ironside as his replacement? Is that
Nah,
correct?
it was Gash. It was Gash.
Oh, it was Gash. Sorry.
Ironside was John Eustace when we first season in the North.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Okay. So what have we got here? Daniel Giles. Anyone know Daniel?
No.
Absolutely
Hello,
not.
Daniel.
Evening, Daniel.
Even Daniel. Right. Okay. Let's get Daniel in the notepad. Oh, all right. Sorry. So boring. Must look horrendous. Right. Okay. So we've got that. Right. That's that. Let me share the team with you. How's it going? Says Daniel. Enjoying the pod so far. Thank you, Daniel. We appreciate that. We do it for you guys as well, and for us, to be honest. Been watching regularly since 2012. Is that like you, Travis?
Probably about then, yeah.
And you don't know him?
Can't say I do, no. I might know
Mate,
his
you will
face,
do.
but...
You will do when the season starts. Let me tell you. Right. Okay. Traditional 4-4-2 for simplicity. Daniel Lewis in goal. Now, who was our keeper before Lewis? Was it Danby?
Breeden, wasn't it? Was it Tony Breeden?
we had a run, didn't we, of like several goalkeepers. We weren't really settled for ages, and then he was the settled keeper for a bit.
Yeah.
Breeden was only in for a very, very short spell.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, John. Right. So in defence, we got Vaughan McNally, Mozza, Worrell.
Boo.
Boo. You can't, but yeah, boo. No, yeah. Worrell. Right midfield, Sam Austin. Anyone on the pitch and he'd do a job, which is so true. Attacking midfielder, Elton again. Centre midfielder, Croasdale. Left midfielder, Lolly. I used to love Lolly just coming inside, and he did that throughout his career. Did that for Huddersfield as well when he scored his great goal. Strikers, Gash, purely based off his love versus Wrexham. Oh, was anyone there? Was anyone at Wrexham on that Tuesday night?
Yeah.
No, I think he's on about that Saturday, second penultimate game of that season.
You think?
Yeah, they literally hit it over their back four. Gash ran onto it and lobbed the keeper.
Did you do that twice against Wrexham?
I think it was only that one.
Okay, maybe it's that I'm thinking of. Sorry, Matt. Sorry, everyone, to let you down. So sorry. And Hemo up front as well. There you go. Thank you so much for that, Daniel. We appreciate that. And we've got another Daniel in as well. It's so great to see everyone. Hang on, I got too excited there. It's so great to see everyone's thoughts on the 11. Right. Now, you might remember Daniel Mees. He was on the first panel. Hang on a minute. He was on the first panel for the Kidderminster Harriers fans podcast, which is excellent. He wants to come back on again, but the problem is he's never there when I need him. So if you're not there, you ain't coming on, unfortunately. Right, okay, give me 1 second. Right. And there we go. Right, GDPR. Got to keep him happy. His name is John Smith. So here we go. Is that it? Let's have a look. Yeah, so this is Dan's team. So Paul Jones in goal. I mean, that's not a surprise for anyone, is it? I wouldn't have thought. Paul Jones. Did he go and play for Wales?
Yeah.
International.
Yeah.
just fantastic. Marcus Bignut, right back. Crichton again, centre back. Matt Preston pre-leg break. How many games did he play for us before he broke his leg?
Was it 9? Something
9 or
like
10,
that.
wasn't it? Yeah.
10-ish, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't a lot, was it? He probably had his best game against West Ham, I would have thought, and he was amazing.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable then. Unbelievable. But that's just a one-off, I think. You've got left back Caleb again. Right wing, Sam Austin. Centre mids, Dean Bennett and Luke Summerfield. Dan, what are you doing, man? Luke Summerfield played like 6 games. I'm going to have a word with him, to be honest. Left wing is Reece Devine. Strikers, Lee Hughes and Paul Ocker-Davis as well. Dean Bennett, am I right in thinking he scored 8 goals in 8 games at one point?
Yes.
He did, yeah.
Went on a run.
What season
In the
was
Football
that?
League as well, that was.
Yeah.
Second season in the league, wasn't it?
Do you know what
It was around
season
that time.
was that?
2003?
2001
Our first
or
season in the league was
2002.
Yeah.
Would have been
So it was
02, 03, I think, when he scored the.
It was when we beat the likes of Hull, Rochdale, around that Christmas time, around that mad run, wasn't it? I think
Did we beat
Yeah, I think-
Bournemouth as well?
it was the season before Bournemouth. It was when Mulby was here. It was the second
like-
season of the Football League.
Beat Rushden at
Yeah.
home. We beat.
Yeah, Rushden, Rochdale, Torquay away. We won 4-1.
Yeah, went off a real run, didn't we? Against some proper established
Yeah, that was just an unbelievable team, man.
clubs.
I want before I do this one, I want to go back and talk about Richie Appleby one more time because Richie Appleby scored an absolute screamer in a game that meant the most. Anyone there when we played Rushden and Diamonds away, and it looked like we were going to get slaughtered. We won 2-0, and Appleby scored. He just danced on the penalty area and just beat the goalie. Anyone remember that at all?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
one
do.
of my
Yeah.
favourite ever away games.
Oh, I know,
Of all
man.
time.
I know. Travis, listen, if we can get hold
I'm
of
just-
the footage,
I'm just
man.
taking it all in.
Yeah, if we get all of that footage, pal, you got to see it. Honestly, his goal was incredible, and they had who was it? Who was their striker? Was he
Andy
Jamaican?
Lowe.
Andy Lowe.
That's him.
He
Yeah,
was a
Duncan.
handful, difficult to defend against for
He
sure.
really was. Ian Joy played left back, right, in that
Yeah.
team.
Yeah.
Marked him out the
I
game.
think
He was
about
about
that
5'5".
Yeah, absolutely. I
It was
love
just
that.
one of those performances. Remember that silver shirt, the silver kit that we had at one point?
Oh.
I'm sure it was that sort of season.
I'd love
Class.
the away kit to be silver again, but maybe that's left in the past. So this is Carl Davies. Anyone know Carl at all?
Yeah.
Carl?
Did the kiss
Yeah,
Cole
I know
Davis?
I know Cole,
of him,
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So he says not easy when you've been sporting since 1976. Travis, just go to sleep, mate. I think. So your goalkeeper is Brian Parry. Right back Archie Richards. Left back Scott Stamps. Centre half, I'm guessing that is Martin Weir and A.D. Smith. In midfield, Martin Woodall, Dean Bennett, Mike Marsh, Paul Davies, Kim Casey, Phil Mullen, and the manager Graham Olner. I did say about managers to start with. But yeah, there you go. Graham Olner, what he did and what I imagine was the smallest budget ever. I just think it was absolutely fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Any thoughts on that? John, you were there, Graham Olner?
There's a couple that despite the wrinkles, whereas I haven't been supporting since quite 1976, but there's a couple of players there that I never saw play. But yeah, a really strong mix of predominantly 90s, early 2000s. But there was, that you could argue that was when we were at our peak in terms of the level that we were playing at and the difficulty of teams. Yeah, some fantastic players in there. Be interested to see how they play together. Phil Mullen, still see him out and about in Kidderminster. Former erstwhile manager of ours.
Oh yeah.
Is he still at Bewley Town? Is he still the manager there with Ocker as
He's
assistant?
He's still doing a bit of Bewley. Yeah, last time I was down there last season, and he was still on the sidelines with a cuppa.
Does that come up on
Yeah, it was-
Footballogy, John?
Yeah.
Nice.
I think it's them two, and I think Stedman was there once upon a time.
He was.
Darren Stedman, yeah.
Do you know who else
Yeah.
played for Bewley, Matt? This guy. Anyway, don't want to talk about it. Right. When my legs worked, I could. Sean Green. Anyone know Sean Green?
Yeah, Greener.
I want to call him Green. I was going to say Greeno. Greeno. Right. Sean's got in for this one. Danny Lewis, goalie. Right back, Lee Vaughan. Crichton again. Shea Dunks again. Francis and goal. Now, was he French?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Of some sort of French descent, I would have thought. Midfield,
I think he had
Carl
French in
Storer,
him.
McPhee. He says cheating with position. What does that mean? Nick, any ideas?
I think it just means positional. He maybe wasn't a central midfielder, but I feel like he was a central midfielder from memory. Don't really recall him being like a striker. Maybe he played sort of the modern day false nine, but back in the day where it maybe
Yeah,
wasn't a thing. But
yeah.
yeah, maybe a cam, but I don't think it's out of order to put him in central midfield.
I love that. Dean Bennett again. Um, Joe Lolly left wing, right wing Hemo, and Malbon up front by himself. There you go. Thank you, Greeno. Thank you, Greeno, Greeno, Greeno.
I
Now,
would love to. Sorry, Wes. I would love to have seen what a fully fit, fully committed Anthony Malvin could have done and where he could have gone
Yeah,
because
I
he
agree.
had a lot of ability
yeah.
and he never lived up to it. Anyway, sorry.
No, it's fine. No, say things like that. That's fine. We've got time. You've got time to talk. This is the whole point, mate, of the podcast is to chat about Harriers because that's what all people want to talk about. That the comments I get are, isn't it great? Somewhere we got somewhere to, listen about Harriers and chat about Harriers and all that kind of thing. Yes, it is. Well done, John. Thank you very much for that. Right, and this is the last one. And it's by a guy called Ryan Malpass. I'm guessing you know Ryan.
Oh no, Mally. Yeah. Hello, Ryan.
Hello,
Mally.
Ryan, mate.
Evening, mate.
Evening, my friend, or whenever you're watching it, that's all cool to me. Right, okay. So, uh, right. This is the last GDPR thing I'm going to do right now, I think. John will be happy. Right. This is Ryan's team. So I did ask originally to name your manager. I mean, you can name your managers if you want to after this. He said manager Jan Molby. Obviously, Jan took us to the promised land and stuff. Danby in goal, not Lewis. Thoughts? Lee Vaughan, Mullins, Crichton again, Richards, in midfield, Bennett, Danny Williams, JJ Mulligan. Remember him?
Lovely to see JJ in there. Fantastic player.
Yeah, but I mean, you talk about cheating in the last one. Can you put loan players in?
I nearly did, but I
Oh,
didn't.
there's a few we've already seen, isn't there?
I kept away from a lone player, but he was unbelievable, Mulligan. He
Class
was
player,
absolutely
yeah.
top draw.
He'd been right close to mine as well.
We should have gone all out to sign him. He went to Cheltenham in the end, didn't he? Was it there or Mansfield or something like that? We should have gone out and signed him. Unbelievable player.
Yeah, some of his goals.
He was so good, they named him twice. I love that. Lolly midfield as well. And Henriksen and Barnes Homer gets his first mention. Absolutely does. So Barnes didn't he play for us a few times, Barnes Homer? Or am I making that up?
I remember him in the second spell. When I used to watch him, I thought he was dreadful, to be fair. But
he was kind of done then, wasn't he?
Yeah,
when
so
he was
he's
up
getting on
front
a
with
bit.
Richards. He was up front with Richards and that team we had in the eights. The year we almost got to the playoffs. And he was decent. It's an interesting one, considering some of the strikes we've seen. But he had a good season. Where did he go? Was it Luton? He went for decent money, didn't he?
He was a
Luton.
Other players who went on to do very, very well. Amari Bell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't he play for
I like him,
Luton?
actually.
If we talk about loan players that went on to do well, Wes Morgan did pretty well. We had him on loan.
He was going to be in my team because he won the Premier League. And I thought, how many players have we got who've actually gone on to win the Premier League? But again, he was a lone player, not really our own, but
And
his name's
Mark
Wesley.
Clyde?
Oh,
Wesley.
he was amazing. Mark Clyde.
Mark
Great
Clyde.
centre-half.
Yeah.
Man alive. How's Memory Lane treating you guys?
Loving it.
Nice?
Yeah.
It's making me feel old.
Yeah. Travis, don't listen, man. Don't listen.
Yeah, it's quite good to hear names, obviously, because I've obviously never seen all these play, but I've heard the names spoken about, so it's quite interesting to listen, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I mean, are there any other? Do you know what? When I mentioned this on the hotline, people did what they always do, which is jump straight on it. As soon as someone put their team on Facebook, even though I'd said twice to email it to me because it wouldn't get read out, they just put it on Facebook, and then someone else did, and someone else did. So I've not mentioned any of those people. One of them was Glyn, John. One of them was Glyn. I'm guessing he doesn't email then, right? Is that the thing?
Well, he's be fair, Wes. He does about 500 miles every week up and down to Rangers and Villa and ground up in. So it's
Ain't being funny though, because he ain't doing any of those miles right now, though, mate. To be honest.
Oh, I could find you a game if you wanted one, man.
Of course you could. Of course you could. Right. Okay. So, how do you think that went? Honestly, how do you think that went?
I
I
enjoyed it.
enjoyed
Looking at
it.
other
Yeah.
people's opinions, yeah, it was good. And some really interesting teams there as well. Some players not heard of before. Obviously, Cole's gone really back into the since the 70s. It'd be interesting to have someone like that on from that era. And obviously, it's interesting to see like people like Travis, like the youth of today, as it were, going through their favourites as well. Of course, going through the old memory lanes. We did this, Mulvey dinner the other month, and just listening to that era. It don't have to bring back some lovely warm memories.
I think that's the thing, though, for us that were sort of watching them. I know, Jono, you watched them sort of started early 90s by the sounds of some of your players that I just missed out on, a few of them, like Lee Hughes, etc. Never saw him play and whatnot. But, a lot of the reasons why I went for the players that I did in my teams were just because of the levels that they were playing at. And I guess sometimes, when you're younger, those memories, it's just nostalgia, isn't it? Sometimes that sort of gets the better of you as opposed to always being subjective with these things. But, just some amazing memories, great to look back on. And, a few sort of similar players within each team, which is interesting. Some standout players there. So no, enjoyed it. It was good.
You hit the nail on the head there, Nick. About it was all nostalgia. That was all a nostalgic look on a Sunday night. In fact, if we had a beer, that'd be great. That would be the cherry on top. That would have been lovely. So I was thinking next week, if we're gonna sign anyone or not sign anyone, I don't know, but maybe your top 3 goals.
That would be an interesting one. I mean, JJ Melligan at Wrexham would have to be right up there.
Yeah,
that was a absolute barnstormer.
The best thing about
Browns at Hereford.
Yeah,
great goal.
The best thing about
Gash against Cambridge when I just started going, big goal kick and he brought it down on the volley in a turn. I remember that one.
But did you say Ryan Rowe?
No, it's Gash against Cambridge.
Gashy, yeah.
Well, I mean, it's crazy. I've talk about goals and your top 3. It's like what are you choosing them based on? Because when you said about Cambridge, I misheard you. I thought you maybe mentioned the Ryan Rowe game where I think he came off the bench. We were losing, got a perfect hat-trick, left foot, right foot header, and then the rest is history. Where we nearly went on to win the league from that game. I think we hadn't won a game in 10. That was our first win. Completely changes the season. Sometimes it might not be the best goals on the eyes, but sometimes really important goals. So, it'd be an interesting one to talk through, actually, because different reasons for the goals in that respect.
Do you know what would be better? Would be if we get some sort of amazing YouTube video of that goal going in, and maybe I could play it, and then we could all see and watch and stuff. I think that would be pretty awesome if we could do that rather than just talk about it. Just watch went in and stuff. So pick your 3 goals, and we'll try and get one that we'll actually put on and watch. So yeah, guys, we've literally got 8 minutes left. Any other business at all? John, my friend, welcome back. Any other business?
Are we picking which team we're saying is the best for merchandise purposes, or is that
no? Okay, so I thought about this.
Have I just spoiled it now?
No, not at all. You made a really good point there, John. Thank you for raising that. It's almost like I told you to say that. No, but the thing is, because each person's team is their own team, we can't then say, well, your own team's better than your own team. So what I'm going to do is put everyone in the draw, and then we'll do the draw next week and see if someone can win. Maybe a Cage FP mug or something like that. We'll do that. That'd be really good, John. Thank you for that, my friend. By the way, none of us are in that draw. Just to let you know. So.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Sorry, John. Just the way it was. So apart from John's other business, which really helped me out there, Matt, you didn't have anything last week. Anything more this week, or is that it?
I just thought I'd mention a couple of players have left Hereford recently. Cisse's gone to Spalding. Campbell's gone to Buxton, I think. So I think Buxton are really building a really good side for this season. Hereford haven't done what Buxton have done in terms of building what they had last season to take them further. Buxton have. They could be a bit of an issue next season. Buxton, if I'm honest, they could be a dark horse. So it'd be interesting to see how they do.
It's I'm reading a lot on X. I hate going on X because my feed's just full of war and stuff. But a lot of people are saying Kings Lynn could be.
Yeah.
They've got new owners, haven't they? So they're splashing the cash, I think.
Just the worst ground.
I hope Caleb Richards doesn't end up there. I know everyone thinks he's going to get a Football League move, and maybe he will. But the longer it goes on, the more I think it's going to be a weird one with Caleb, where we're a little bit sort of shocked and surprised. And I think it was Norwich that he signed for us from back in the day under Russ. Now, if they get him as well, then I'm definitely putting them in a bracket of ones to watch. So yeah, hopefully he doesn't, and maybe I'm just going crazy with that one. But yeah, maybe watch this space on that one. Be a random one.
Who else?
Where do you think him and McNally will end up?
That's another one I was going to say.
I'd heard, again, don't know how accurate it is, that McNally's been looked at by Carlisle, which obviously now National League. So that might be an option. I can't see McNally. I mean, I say that, I didn't think Zach would go part-time, and he has by the looks of it. So who knows, with the money that's available now in this sort of hybrid role or part-time clubs. But I think McNally definitely should go National League. He needs to be a full-time footballer. He's a young guy, should absolutely be doing that. And hopefully Caleb gets a National League move as well. Don't really want to see any of these lads in our league next season. So I know Zach and Kyle have gone to a part-time team, but at least won't be facing them next season. So
there you go. Travis, any thoughts? Any of the business, my friend?
Just I don't know. Striker wise, we do need a striker.
Yeah.
Let's see if we're linked with anyone else in the week. Maybe Alexander from Eastbourne's obviously mentioned, but he's on a contract, isn't he? So we have to pay a fee for him.
Also, they're part-time, which is the biggest stumbling block there is. John, thoughts?
He's a fantastic player. But I think, one, they're part-time, and two, he's never gone, further north than Watford. So, I don't think our chances are high with him. I absolutely, we need a striker in. But normally we're saying that 22nd of July, whereas not 22nd of June. You're talking about the years we've been watching Harriers since 1992. This is the best season I can remember in terms of the forward-thinking recruitment. Yeah. Never have ever been in a position 22nd of June we've got 90% of the squad locked in.
It's weird though, right? Fantastic. It's a bit weird.
I think it's great. It's great.
Yeah, it's
great, but it's weird.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
My only question is how much budget's left. So yes, we've done business early. That's great. Well, you say that, but like I said, we've made a lot of signings. We've replaced like for like in terms of a lot of the players that have exited positionally. We've replaced, but that's the only concern for me. I still think we're probably three one flagship striker or main striker, and then probably two other players as well that need to be in and around the first team level. So it'd be interesting to see between now and the middle to end part of July, John, how many we bring in, because we've spent a bit, I imagine, so far.
Yeah, we can't, and obviously, not only have we spent a bit, but we've moved players from part-time to full-time as well. So that's going to be a big deal. And they've got to make a step up, which is good that they've come in early, so they've got time with the team to adapt. We definitely need a striker. There was a comment earlier about Morgan Smith and his lack of goals, especially the latter part of the season. We cannot run him into the ground like we did last year again. We can't just give him, 75, 80 minutes. After 75, 80 minutes, he was absolutely done in. We need to have another option who we can go to, who needs to be there or thereabouts in terms of quality, because your Beresfords, your Bellis, Lutz, I mean, they're miles off, in my opinion. We need someone who knows the league, who's going to be a good option if we need someone who we need to pick up the ball and run at defences.
There is one player I've looked at, Jono. It depends, because unfortunately they got relegated last season. So he played at Leamington. Callum Stewart, I think his first name's Callum, and he signed for Shrewsbury from Leamington. he has played something like 20 games off the bench, most of them off the bench last season in League One, but hasn't scored at that level. Now they're going to League Two. I'm guessing he's going to get game time initially, but if he does go through a bit of a barren spell at that level, quite a big, significant jump up for the National League North, maybe sort of December, January time, he could be one as a loan option to help and support. He's a sort of a smaller, more diminutive player than like a Morgan Smith. But if you can remember him from the Leamington games, he's pretty pacey. He likes to close down, and it looks like Murray's team's going to be front foot. We might go for a different profile as centre forward. AMS is like a target man, isn't he? Almost like a hold-up player. Maybe we'll go for a different profile as centre forward with someone who actually goes and presses.
Maybe Adam doesn't think we need that type of player in the way he's going to play. I mean, that's one of the things.
That's what I mean.
I think we need two strikers, really. Though we need the main. Someone's going to come in and start every week, really, and then we need someone like a loanee from a Midlands club, like we had with Beresford last year.
I think that'll happen.
I think we need up two, really.
Yeah, I think we'll get a lone striker in for sure.
That'd be good. That'd be great. Yeah, if we don't, we've got Dan Mooney. We don't know what he's going to do, where he's going to play. We've got Hemo, we've got Amari, we've got Seb Thompson. I think that's all your four that go up front. John, your room's got very dark all of a sudden, mate.
It's I'm near to the window, as I think they call it golden hour, mate.
I bet they do. Listen, thank you so much, John. Thank you so much, Travis. Thank you so much, Matt. Thank you so much, Nick. I'll be honest with you, chatting Harriers on a Sunday night, there's nothing better, but there is actually doing it twice. So thank you so much. If you're watching the Kidderminster Harriers fans podcast, any thoughts at all, why not send us a message? It's Kidderminster Harriers fp@gmail.com, and we'll be talking about the best goals at Harriers that we've seen, or just the best goals ever in the next episode next Sunday. I think I'm still here next Sunday, yeah. So we'll talk about that. So thank you so much, Jonathan Smith. Round of applause. Thanks, Travis. Thanks, Matt. Thanks, Nick. Appreciate everyone. And we're on to another week at Harriers. Will we sign anyone? We don't know. But listen, guys, thank you so much. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share as well. That's the best thing you can do. So thanks, guys. Cheers. See you later. Bye-bye.